In this question we have a health club which is monitoring the average heart rate of its members when using a specific machine, and the lower quartile of the heart rate is 115, the upper 165, and we want to find the probability that when a random group of 4 members is chosen, at least 3 of them have an average rate above 165. So the first thing we're going to do is think about what the probability that the rate is greater than 165 is. Well, this is going to be a quarter because our upper quartile is 165, so a quarter of the people will be above the upper quartile, so that's our probability. The next thing we can do is think about what it means for at least 3 to have a rate above 165. So we could have 2 scenarios: either everyone has a rate above 165, or 3 out of the 4 have a rate above 165. And we then need to multiply by the different number of ways that we could have 3 people out of the 4. So pause the video and see if you can work out what these 2 probabilities are and then add them together. So let's first think about what the number of ways we could choose the 3 people out of the 4. So this looks like 4 choose 3, which you might have seen this notation before. It's the same as 4 factorial over 3 factorial, which means we're doing 4 times 3 times 3 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 divided by 3 times 2 times 1, which is equal to 4. You could just think about this as if you have 4 different objects, how many ways can you choose 3? Well, you could have the first 3, you could have the first 2 and then the last one, etc. And there are 4 different ways. So you don't necessarily need this formula, you could just work it out from scratch. And so the probability that at least 3 have a heart rate above 165 is the probability that all 4 are above 165, which is going to be a quarter to the power of 4, because it's a quarter times a quarter times a quarter times a quarter, plus the probability that 3 have a heart rate above 165 and 1 has a heart rate below 165, which is going to be 1 minus 1 quarter, because the probability must add up to 1, and so this is 3 quarters, and we're also timesing by 4 because that's the number of ways of choosing those 3 people. And so when we work this out, we should get the answer of C, because we get 13 over 256.